This is take 2. Take 1 for some reason decided not to save, so let's go take 2. You're getting a ball and you're working through your feet. This is your standing bit of Pilates. You can sandwich this with whatever you want. You've got loads of ideas of other things, especially last week's, which was a bit of a whistle-stop tour of strength. So feel free to put this on to the end. But what I want you to do is remember about our wee feet that we spend so long practicing, working, strengthening, moving in class. So let's make sure we keep that going. Find yourself a ball. I'm starting with a golf ball. I'm going to use a spiky ball for the other foot, and I'm going over and back. And then I'm resting my heel down, and I'm going side to side. So this is the stuff we do in class. Your heel is down as a kind of a pivot. This is not that easy with a golf ball, as I've discovered, but you're moving your foot. There's no hard and fast way of doing this. What we're trying to do is get all of those 26 bones moving, working. Well, bones don't work. Get your 26 bones moving. Get your joints moving. Get all your muscles woken up. And then from there, ball goes in underneath all your toes. Grab it in, make a fist with your toes, with your foot. Really put some effort in, thinking merely about hitting towards cramp, and then let it go. So you're squashing those toes in, grabbing in with that ball, really putting effort into it so your calf comes into it as well, and then let go. One more. Grab in, really go towards the real limit of what you can manage, and then let go. And you're trying to lift whatever it is that you've got. If it's a ball and you have a hope of lifting it, then great. If you want to get yourself a sock or something similar, again, you're just trying to get your foot moving, get those muscles working. You don't actually have to lift it. It's going through the effort of trying to that's important here. And your opposite hip is having to work at the same time because it's taking your weight, it's having to balance, so make sure you're not all hanging into it. Make sure you're standing up out of it. And then your final bit is rolling along the arch of that foot. So because I've got a golf ball, I can't go quite so enthusiastically, but you're rolling along the arch of that foot. Just getting that plantar fascia, just reminding it that we know it's there, we appreciate it, just getting it a little bit freed up. Remember, don't go too enthusiastic with a golf ball. No prizes. You can go a bit easier because there's no give in a golf ball. And then stand that foot down. Hopefully it feels a wee bit alive. And then we go with the other side. So I'm going spiky ball on the other side. And we're starting with our overs and backs. Feels very different to a golf ball all of a sudden. So you're rolling over, rolling back, toes down, heel down, standing into that supporting hip. And you're really thinking about, I guess none of us are going out as much as like we were. So we don't have to wear shoes as much as what we did. So maybe this is a good chance to really think about going barefoot and seeing how different that feels. Please do not fall down the stairs, I don't recommend that. But what I do recommend is kicking your shoes off at least once in a while and letting your feet do what they're designed to do, letting them kind of move. Let's get your heel down. Let's roll from side to side. So you're using your heel down, I'll turn sideways so you can see. You're using your heel down as like a pivot point, and you're rolling one way, rolling the other. Your hip is going to move at the same time, has to a bit. But what I really want you to think about is getting as much movement as you can down at your ankle, and then even within your foot, so that your foot is changing direction here. So this is the kind of, even just this sequence with whatever ball you've managed to turn up, is a really nice thing to do every day. What about doing this every morning? Getting your feet ready for the day. It's quite lovely. And then, back forwards, you're grabbing in and letting go. So, You're grabbing in with all your toes, really making a fist with those toes, bringing your calf muscle into it, really, really trying hard, and then let them all go. So you're grabbing in, grabbing in, grabbing in, grabbing in, and then let your toes widen. So this is only going to take us like, what are we on now, 5 and a bit minutes. So it's probably going to take us 6 minutes in total, 3 minutes each foot. I think we can all find that in our day. And it's a really nice way to get much stronger feet than your average bear. And then grabbing in, trying to lift. This foot's not want to lift stuff today. There we go. So you're trying to lift, and remember, it really doesn't matter if it comes off the floor or not. It is the effort that counts. That is what will get all those intrinsic muscles of your feet working. That is what will get your feet changing shape. That is what will get them a bit stronger, a bit more kind of functional. And then your last bit is rolling along the arch of that foot, between the base of your big toe and your heel. Remember, if you're using a golf ball, you've got to go easier. If you've got a ball with a good bit of give in it, then let it give. Let your foot change shape. Let your weight come onto it. Just enjoy that, maybe. Maybe it's been a while since your foot has really worked, so just enjoy that. And then from there, stand down. You've got 2 shiny new feet now. Spiky ball, golf ball, all of that out of the road. Just make sure you're not going to trip on them. And then, don't drop things either. I'm going to use weights. You can use weights if you want. You don't have to use any weights, but we're coming into rib cage closure. So feet are hip distance apart and you are tall. Just take a second before you come into your rib cage closure to think about where your pelvis is, where your rib cage is, where your head is. Can you stack those guys up on top of each other a little bit more? And then into rib cage closure. So breathe in. It's only your arms moving as you come up. Breathe out, your arms come overhead. Elbows stay long, wrists stay long. Breathe in as you come forward. Breathe out as you come down, press behind. Breathe in, coming forward. Breathing out overhead. Breathe in forward, breathing out down. So if you're using weights, these ones that I use, the ones that we use in class, are about half a kilo, about a pound in weight. So they are not heavy. Because really all we're using them for is to remind our stabilizing muscles that, yeah, we do have to work here. They change this exercise enough that it just, your body has to adjust a little bit more to keep itself standing nice and tall, you know. And then one more. So breathing in, I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see. As you breathe in and you come up, your rib cage stays pretty steady. Watch that it doesn't arch up and your arms don't come arching up. Inhale forward and exhale down. From there, we're taking it into arm circles. So again, as you come up on the inhale, watch you don't go all archy. And then exhale, coming round. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with extending your spine. That's fine. But what we're doing right now in this exercise is isolating the movement to your shoulder joints. And that is why I don't want you going crazy with your back extension. I want you to keep your rib cage under control as you sweep up, and your arms sweep round ever so slightly in front of you, and it just helps your shoulders. Let's change direction. So inhale as you circle wide round. Exhale, closing down. That's all about getting movement around that shoulder joint. It's a really mobile joint. It allows you to do all this rotation and all sorts of things. But sometimes all that movement shows itself in a bit of instability. Last one. And then close it down. From there, going into our dumb waiter, so tuck your elbows into your side. Weights, if you have them, are resting in the palms of your hands as much as you can. Rotate out, external rotation, and back in. So you're rotating out, opening out, and back in. A couple more just like that. This is external rotation of your shoulders. If you're spending ages on a laptop, if you're spending ages on an iPad or a phone, external rotation is going to be your friend. From there, let's take it further into that dumb waiter. So you rotate out, your elbows are still tucked into your sides. Then send your arms long. Watch your shoulders don't creep up, keep bent down. Then bring your elbows, tuck them back in and forward. So external rotation, reach those arms out super long. Draw them back in and forward. Rotate, reach them long, back in and forward. Last one, and reach and down and back. Set your weights. No, we'll keep hold of the weights, why not? So waist down by your side, feet hip distance apart. Start with some knee bends, so let your knees come over your ankles. Remind yourself that yes, your ankles actually move as well. So keep your heels down, let your knees travel forward. So you're letting your knees travel forward and you're straightening up. Your knees might go straighter than mine. If you remember, my knees don't really like to straighten that much. They're getting better. From there, we're taking it into squats. So if you've kept your weights, well and good. Stand yourself tall. So you're sitting down, your knees go straight over your toes, and then you stand tall, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your bum as you come up. And you sit down, and you stand up, and you sit down. You go pretty quick because we want your heart rate up a little bit. And stand up, 2 more like that. And stand, and sit. This time as you stand, press behind, peel 1 foot away from that floor, and then set it down, sit down, stand up, peel, set it down, sit, stand, and peel. So we're getting that single leg balance in there as well. Stand, peel that foot away, set it down, reach and up. So think about what you need to get that balance. So you need your foot moving, your foot stable, your foot awake. You need that hip working, you need your calf working, you need all those postural muscles. Try to get that knee even higher if you can. And then set it down and stand. Whoop. As you get a little bit out of breath, you get a little bit wobbly, and that's alright. We don't mind a wobble. Think about where your foot is landing. Try to get it hip distance apart. And stand. 1 more each side. And reach up. And sit. And stand. And reach. And down. And we're all good. From there, weights go down. Get yourself a block. Get yourself a couple of books. We are pelvic lifting. This is your favourite bit. So, right foot on to start with. If you wish, left foot is free in space, and you are tall. And you can stand there, because my block's got a bit of give in it, it's letting me wobble really nicely. Glutes working, knees long, keep your knees long, pelvic lift down, pressing up. So hopefully you can see the line of my top. I've deliberately worn a bright colour top so that you can see. You are pelvic lifting down, and you're pressing and coming up. And your pelvic lifting down, and you're pressing coming up. And after a little while, this hip will start to get tired. 2 more, down, and back up, and down, and back up, and stay. Stay, 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 balance, 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 tall, tall, tall. Try not to lean over to the side as you come out to the side, and back in. So as you come out to the side, think about leaning with your heel. Really reach out and back in. I hope this video takes, because if I have to do this again, my hips are going to be really knackered. So, reach out and back in. Last one out and back in. Circle for 1. Make sure part of that circle comes behind you. That's 3. Last 2, 4, and 5. And stand down. And your glutes might peel out a little bit. Particularly once you kind of get the idea of the balance, a lot of this then comes from your glute med, glute min. These stabilising bits of your bum that sit quite high, but that really control as you walk, as you run, and control your pelvis from dropping. I'm sure you know some people who walk with a wiggle, who run with a wiggle, they really kind of collapse. This is what's building us super strong. Now there's no London Marathon this year. I think it was supposed to be today. I'm filming this on Sunday. I think it was today. But maybe with our nice strong hips, we'll all be good for next year. That's some challenge. So, balance, stand, knees long, hips stable, starting level, let that pelvis lift and press and stand up. So all of this control is coming from your standing leg. Your standing leg is like, well, I can see a lamppost out the window. That's what it is. It is absolutely standing steady. And you've got that ball and socket joint, if you think, at the top of your thigh bone. So that's where you're getting this rotation. That's letting you lift down and back up. Just watch this free leg. It will try and creep forward on you. So your job is to keep it in line with its mate. One more. Lifting down, back up, level, balance. Stand tall. Try not to lean as you come out to the side. And back in. Again, watch for that leg creeping forward. It'll try. So keeping it in line and even leading with your heel, you'll really feel, at least the way as I am, you'll really feel that glute med, glute min at the top, wobbly, at the top of your leg, firing up. Supporting leg is also having to really work by now. Getting proper wobbly, last one. And then we've got our circles for 1. Make sure part of that circle comes behind you. 3. Lead with your heel if you can. 4. And 5. Change direction. I think I've got dancing arms here as I try to balance. For 3. For 4. And for 5. Stand down. Ooh, a few wee squats. Let those glutes widen out. Let them spread. Let your sit bone spread as you sit down. Just really enjoy that bit of a squat. And then from there, I want you to have something that you can pick up. I'm going to use the block, but you can use whatever you want. Something that you can pick up off the floor. I suggest you don't make it a bit of paper. Give yourself half a chance. Set it there. You're back on your right leg again, which is where you were before. Balance. Glutes working. These are already tired, so you're going to be a bit wobbly already. And I want you to tip forward and pick up your thing and stand back up with your thing. Oh, wobbly. And then you're going to bend forward. Set your thing down and stand up. So you're going to tip and pick it up and tip and set it down. So I want you to keep going with that. I'm going to turn sideways because one of the most important things here is what's happening with your back. So it can be really tempting to kind of round. As you set it down, you really, okay, well I don't have to gently, just round it and then set back up. But what I want you to do is hinge. So this leg stays pretty long and you hinge and pick it up and you hinge and set it down. Think about all this balance. You can make it harder by having your thing closer to the floor. So you're going to have to bend this knee if you want to go closer, but you're also going to bend at your hip, and you're really thinking, whoop, I'll fall over. But what you're really thinking about is keeping that spine in nice neutral so you don't round and hunch. You keep yourself lifted, and then you can pick up. Let's have one more on this side. I don't know about you, but my glutes are really on fire. If you want a challenge, you can make your thing a bit of paper. Don't let me stop you. And then stand up. Oh, glutes. Let's go other side. It's that the previous video decided to chop off. So your final bit is on your left leg. You've got your thing, whatever your thing might be, and you're tipping forward and you're lifting your thing up and you're standing up straight. Make sure you do get that stand up straight. Really standing into that hip, lifting up out of it. Find that full hip extension. Then tip forward and set your thing down and pick it up or stand yourself up. So you get it, you're really getting that standing up each time, and then you're bending forward and you're picking your thing up and then you're bending forward, maybe make it closer to the ground. Remember, this can be as close as you want it to be to the ground. Make sure you get that full straight standing in between, and then you tip forward and then you stand up. Properly wobbly now. It's because I've done this way more times, and my camera, it turns out my camera storage is really very full, which is why I keep having to stop and restart. But you're working through. I suppose I must say it's good for me because I'm getting extra work through these hips. And last one, tip it over, set it down, stand up, and one final pick up. And stand yourself tall. We're coming into a corkscrew to finish. Remember, if you want to add in some floor work, you've got loads of videos now at this stage, so feel free to pick and choose and add in whatever feels good for you. Stand yourself nice and tall. Let your shoulders chill out. Let your collarbones be nice and wide. Let your arms hang heavy. Breathe in, send your arms wide. Breathe out, interlace your fingers behind your head. Breathe in, shrug your shoulders up. Breathe out, let your shoulders come down. Breathe in, let your elbows come back. Breathe out. Send your arms really wide. One more as I move away from the wall a wee bit. So breathe in, send your arms wide. Breathe out, your hands come behind your head. Breathe in, shoulders rise up. Breathe out, shoulders come down. Breathe in, elbows come back. Breathe out, really reach with those arms. And you're all done. Well done.